Tonight, we are witnessing a major turn in the political standoff that has kept the United States government partially frozen for weeks. After an extended shutdown that disrupted services, delayed paychecks, and strained millions of Americans across the nation, the Senate has now taken a decisive first step toward reopening the government. But this development did not come easily, and it did not come without political friction, internal pressures, and accusations of retreat. The latest move, led in part by moderate Senate Democrats willing to compromise with Republicans, has opened a new pathway to restoring government operations, ending what has been called one of the most frustrating deadlocks in recent memory. The shutdown began over disagreements tied to federal funding priorities and healthcare subsidy negotiations. And as the debate dragged on, frustration continued to rise both in Washington and across the country. Federal workers, from the military to border agents to agencies that keep our food supply safe, have been working without pay, and others have been furloughed entirely. Airlines warned of delays, national parks closed or reduced service. Everyday Americans began to feel the pinch more than many political leaders initially acknowledged. So what changed? The catalyst appears to be a shift among Senate Democrats, particularly moderates, who chose to break from the party's earlier unified stance. These senators joined Republicans in advancing a temporary funding measure designed to reopen the government. The procedural vote passed with the required 60 votes, moving negotiations to the next stage. In effect, this vote signals one thing: a willingness to compromise now and to continue the policy debate later. But let's be clear, this move is already being described as a concession, even a caving by some political commentators, particularly because the compromise did not secure immediate extensions to key healthcare subsidy programs Democrats had insisted were non-negotiable. Instead, the agreement includes a promise for a future vote, one that is not guaranteed to succeed. That distinction is what has many progressives, activists, and some Democratic leaders expressing concern or outright disappointment tonight. Yet, the senators who helped push this measure forward argue that reopening the government was the priority, that the cost of remaining shut down, especially for federal workers and families living paycheck to paycheck, was simply too high. People were being hurt, they say. This could not continue. Their stance is grounded in the real and growing pain being felt nationwide. And whether you agree with the political strategy or not, the human impact of the shutdown has been very real. Meanwhile, Republicans are calling this a victory, a sign that persistence paid off. Conservative lawmakers and commentators are framing the move as proof that Democrats overplayed their hand and eventually had to back down to reality. We can expect to hear that message amplified in the days ahead, especially as negotiations continue. But before we assume this battle is over, it's important to remember this is not the final vote. This procedural step opens the door, but Congress must still finalize legislation, the House must agree, and the President must sign the measure. Any one of those steps could still introduce delays or even reignite the stalemate. So while the headlines tonight may suggest momentum, the outcome is not finished. And in Washington, momentum can change quickly. In the meantime, Americans continue to watch and wait. Federal workers are waiting to learn when their paychecks will resume. Families are waiting to see whether the services they depend on, from healthcare to housing support to veteran services, will return to full operation. Businesses that rely on federal funding cycles are waiting to resume contracts. And average citizens are waiting to see whether Washington has learned anything from the past several weeks of political gridlock. This situation also underscores an ongoing truth about American politics. When negotiations hit a wall, it is often moderates, not the loudest voices on either end, who ultimately determine the path forward. Whether that's viewed as pragmatism or surrender depends entirely on one's political outlook. And we want to hear from you. Do you believe Senate Democrats made the right call in pushing forward this compromise? Or do you see this as giving up too much leverage too early? Let us know what you think in the comments. Your perspective matters, and this is an issue affecting every American in some way. And before we continue, if you're joining us here for the first time or you watch our updates regularly, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We cover major developments across U.S. politics, international news, weather emergencies, sports, and cultural moments shaping the world. And we break them down clearly, calmly, and directly so that you always know what's really going on. Clicking subscribe and turning on notifications ensures that when major developments like this one unfold, you won't be left searching for updates. So take just a moment, hit that button now, and stay informed with us. Now, as we look ahead, there are a few important questions to watch. First, will the House accept this compromise? Or will there be pushback from conservative hardliners who may argue the measure doesn't go far enough? Second, how will the president respond? While the administration has publicly supported reopening, behind closed doors there are ongoing demands for spending adjustments. And finally, when the promised December vote on healthcare subsidies arrives, will Democrats have enough leverage left to restore what they initially fought for? These next several weeks will answer those questions. But for tonight, we can say this: the shutdown may soon be coming to an end, or at least paused, and that is a step forward for millions of Americans who have waited long enough. Our team will continue to monitor developments closely and bring you updates as soon as they break. Again, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Should compromises like this be celebrated or resisted? Is reopening the government now worth delaying bigger policy goals? Let's talk about it, respectfully, in the comments. Thank you for watching, stay safe, stay aware, and we'll see you in the next report.